Hey everybody, it's Lisa Robinson here, the owner and founder of Lisa Marie Accounting, and I am here today with Laura Francis, and she and I are going to be talking all about sassing up your truth. But before that, if this is the first time that you've been watching me, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about me. I am the owner and founder again of Lisa Marie Accounting LLC. I am known as the Sassy Southern Accountant, and what I am is a profitability coach. And basically, in a nutshell, I help women entrepreneurs take the chaos out of their numbers and know their true numbers so that they can budget to pay themselves, put aside money for taxes, and be empowered by their numbers instead of controlled by them. So without further ado, I have been waiting a while now for this one, and I'm sorry about the mix-up last week. My fault. I got a little confused on the time zones. That's what you get for being in Australia, okay?
Yeah, it's okay. You can't help it if you're behind, right?
Than what hours that I'm used to. But it was my fault, so we had to reschedule because there was a mix-up. I am very thankful that y'all are patient. Y'all waited until today for us to all hop on. But without further ado, this is Laura Francis, and she is, well, you know what? She's a badass. This nighttime, we're going to go ahead and say it. She is a badass, and she is very awesome at what she does. I absolutely love her. And so I'm going to ask her to introduce herself and give a little bit of information about her, and then we're going to get started. So.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa. Pleasure to be here with you. It has been a long time coming. We did plan it a little while ago before I went away. But you know, time zones, we're ahead, you're behind. What do you do? Every now and then there's a mistake, right? So, guys, I am Laura Francis. I am the queen of the multiple six-figure mindset. And what that means fundamentally is that I help you to get your mindset straight so you can explode your business online and grow your online empire to six figures and beyond. And ideally, we'll get you to 7 and 8 figures, but, you know, that's generally the point that people want to get to start with, is the 6 figures. And so I've been doing this for quite some time now. I've been online, an online business owner for 10 years. And the reason I, 5 years ago, switched to doing coaching and mentoring is that I was actually helping people in that area anyway. But, and I resisted for so long doing the mindset stuff, but then I had to actually admit that that was my thing. So my why is, I believe that everybody has a truth at their core, and that truth is about who they want to be, do, and what they want to have. And I want to help women to be able to express that unapologetically, unrelentingly, and in an unfiltered way while being 100% authentic to the core of their very being.
Oh, I love it. 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 I've been following you for a while. And so one of my old coaches introduced us, Jane, and I've been following you for a while. So I love how you project that and how you have a no bars down attitude towards mindset. It's, you know, I mean, she tells you how it is. You basically get the hell out of your own way and you make it happen. And I'm going to be the first one to say that sometimes that's really hard. And you knew me when I was working full time, and so I was following you during that time. And so there's that process of being able to get out of our own damn way. And that's one of the things I tell my clients when it comes to these numbers is, if you let it beat you down, then it's not going to happen. You actually have to get back up and keep going. And one of the things I love about you, we joked about it being an evening time live, y'all, because most of my Sass Up lives are in the afternoon. But we joked that the reason we were going to have it in the evening was because most of the kids wouldn't be around.
It's going to be at
least in the Eastern time zone. Okay, if you're Australian, then well, hopefully the kids are at school. Because if you know Laura literally doesn't hold anything back. We've agreed we're going to tone it down just a smidge.
If I have to, I'll water down my authenticity for 20 minutes.
We're going to tone it down just a smidgen. But she does it from a heart, and she does it from love. And that's, I think, the reason why I felt attracted to you and what you stand for, is because even though, yes, you do cuss, and like I said, you hold no bars down about it, you're honest and you're authentic about it. And it comes from a place it comes from your heart. It comes from a place of love. And there's a difference from being really foul language and then having that language, but also having it come from a place in your heart. And so I think that makes it a difference. So we're going to get on.
I don't exactly swear at people. I swear.
You just swear in your normal conversation.
Probably the more I swear, right?
Right. And it's just part of your normal conversation.
It is. And
who you are.
That's what I was just going to say. It's exactly who I am, and I'm not going to.
Who you are. Remember the first time we were talking, and what was it? You were driving down the road, and something wouldn't connect, and we were having a conversation. And I said, no, I already know what you're saying. And I literally messaged it to you saying, this is what you're saying. You're like, oh, crap.
That's right. It's like, oh my God, because we couldn't get through on the call.
I literally had, right? Because we couldn't get connected. We could not get connected for nothing. So without further ado, that was like 2 years ago too. Matt, that was way before I know. That was before I was even full time in the business. Okay, so we're talking about sassing up your truth. And one of the things I want to know is first, what do you mean by sassing up your truth? And how do we find it?
Okay. Well, before you can sass it up, you have to find it, right?
Right.
And to be able to find your truth, you have to dig below all the bullshit that's been lumped upon you by society, by your family, by your friends, by your leaders, by your community, where they've told you how you must show up, where they've told you that you must conform in this way or that, where they've told you that you're only allowed to do this and you're certainly not allowed to do that because it's not acceptable. And there's so many other layers, but that's a really good place to start. So once you can get beneath that shit, you can start to see where there's incongruencies in the way that you're showing up now to the way that if you didn't have all of that, so if you could strip back the layers, if you could be unapologetic and unfiltered, if you could be no holds barred, who would that person be, right? And I swear, like my statistics that I'm creating right now, that 100% of people don't show up as the way that they really want to show up before they get on this mindset journey, right? Mm-hmm. Because we're so busy, whether we want to be or realize we're being or whatever, we're so busy being need to pleasers because that's how we've been conditioned that we actually forget to please ourselves. So once we strip back all the layers, it's like you treat yourself like an onion, right? You peel back a layer, peel back a layer, peel back a layer, and you get to a place of honesty and integrity. But I also, here it goes, I also throw it in, it's a place of don't give a fuckery, right? And it means that you're actually fed up with trying to be what other people want you to be, and you can basically swear to Christ that if you don't start showing up as yourself, you are going to explode. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. The thing is, being human beings, we often need to get to explode point before we actually take the steps to make the changes, because that's also how we've been conditioned, right?
Right.
So we've got to fall, and we've got to stumble, and we've got to crumble, and we've got to break, and we've got to be in pieces before we can actually start putting ourselves back together. But when we start putting ourselves back together, this is where the truth comes in, is that we go, that piece doesn't fit. Mm-hmm. And we leave that bit out. And that piece might be some family crap, stories, belief systems, behaviours that you were forced to do. It could be societal, it could be community-based, it could be all sorts of things. And it's like, you know what, that piece doesn't fit. And then you realise that all along you've been actually squashed into this little box, like you've been pushed down and forced into this little box, and you've been feeling as uncomfortable as hell, right? And then you decide that you're outside the box and there's no way you can get back in, because that box has been through a rainstorm and it's fallen apart, as cardboard boxes do, for example, and it's rotted, and you can't get back into that. So therefore you're mold free. And I don't mean mold as in like moldy. I mean mold as in you're no longer fitting a mold. And even though you might try to get back into that mold, like you just won't be able to, because you get to a point where things just don't fly with you anymore, right? Where your tolerance for things just isn't there anymore, where you won't accept things in your life and you won't accept being spoken to or treated in a certain way, where you won't accept being able to express yourself, where you won't accept being able to say what you want to say, how you want to say it. With people, with not being able to say what you want to say, how you want to say it. You just get so sick to death of trying to please everybody, trying to be the person that everybody wants you to be, and them not being pleased anyway, because you can't please people who will never be able to please themselves. But you also get sick to death of being completely unhappy with who you are, like not loving yourself and really hating on yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to go through that stuff.
Right. And, well, it's kind of similar, and then the only reason I'm using me as an example, y'all, is because that's what I can actually compare it to. It's very similar to, like you were saying. I mean, you knew me when I was working full time. I mean, that's how long we've been connected. We've been connected a little over 2 years, and so for a while there, even Jane even said it. For a while there, when I first started, I held back. I wasn't showing my true self. I wasn't showing my full Southern personality. I wasn't showing the sassiness at all. And then as I grew, something all of a sudden just clicked. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I trying to be something I'm not and instead be who I am? And y'all, the more I showed up of who I am, the more I sassed up my truth, the more I showed my truth and actually did my truth, the more I attracted the people that were supposed to be attracted to me in the first place.
That's exactly right.
Right? And
it is. And the thing is,
still through going through my mindset. I have a lot of mindset still go through, but I've come, and I think we all do, but I mean, in that time frame, you start attracting the people you actually want to be around, who you want to be like, and who you want your clients to be as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, I did it, Lisa, and I still fall more and more into my truth every single day. And I say fall because I'm free falling and I'm loving it, right?
Right?
I'm like falling. There's no parachute. There's no life raft at the bottom. I don't know what's underneath, and I'm just going. I'm all the way.
I jumped off the cliff. What you talking about?
That's right. I jumped off the cliff, and whatever will be, will be.
I jumped off the cliff and said, it was one of those ones that said, what if you fall? I was like, yeah, no, baby, there is no falling. I'm going to fly.
That's right. I'm free falling and I'm flying and I'm enjoying the ride. And the thing is, like you said about, like, you've still got a lot of mindset stuff to go through. Anyone who thinks that they can do a year, 2 years, 3 years of mindset work and then stop is deluding themselves. Right? Because every time you peel back a layer and you expose more truth, there's more to be discovered still. And that will happen until the day we leave our human forms and go back into our spirit form.
There's always more growth. There's always more growth.
There's always more growth. And the moment you think that you've grown as much as you can grow, your mindset is then again fucked. And it's controlling you, and your ego mind is saying you can't grow anymore because the more you grow, the less I grow, which means that I'm actually dying and diminishing and you're getting stronger, and I don't want that to happen, right?
Right.
And so, when it comes to, like, you're never done as far as growth is concerned unless your mindset is broken and you're telling yourself that you are done. That's the only time that you're done, which means then you've given up on life, right? Because you're not allowing yourself to grow and to expand and to be fully expressed. So therefore you've got mindset stuff, right? So as much as one part of your mind, your ego mind, is saying, yeah, no, I'm done, I've grown as much as I can. The truth of it is that you've never ever grown as much as you can, right?
Yeah, there's always growth.
And so when it comes to sassing up your truth, once you've peeled back the layers and you know what your truth is and who you are at a core level, that's when you can start really showing up as you. And it's like you were like when we first met, you were still quite shy, you were still quite demure, you were still quite fearful, right? Can you hear that playback?
No, I'm good.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, you were still quite fearful, and I was too. I mean, I've been in this game for 10 years now, and for the first 5 years, I was trying to show up as someone who I wasn't, because that's what I thought was expected of me, and I was trying to conform. And then I just went, fuck it. And the more I say fuck it, the more I fall into myself, right? And so the more you fall into yourself, the more you own and start to completely and utterly embody your truth. Therefore, you can't do anything but sass it up.
Right, right. Absolutely.
Yeah?
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So okay. So once we have discovered our truth, once we're peeling back those layers, how do we become confident in expressing it because I mean, that's one of the things I constantly work on. And something I will always constantly have to work on. But I know many of us, once we find it, we have a hard way of expressing it. So how do we go about doing that? And how do we do it with our business?
Yeah. So, you know, everything has to start at some point. So if you're not confident, the only way to get confident is to start showing up as though you are confident. And then being confident becomes second nature. And I know that sounds simple, and, you know, it makes it sound really easy. But as you start showing up as the confident version of you that you actually desire to be, there'll be all sorts of fears and insecurities and mindset stuff that comes up. But what you need to remember is that you're an advancing member of the human race, and therefore you're an advancing and constantly evolving being of the universe. And therefore, the more you start to show up as the you that you desire to be, the sooner you become that person, and it becomes easier for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't really, there's some people that don't like it, but it's basically you fake it until you make it.
There's differences in fake it till you make it, right?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's showing that it's taking putting yourself out there. In some ways, that's being raw. Okay, so you're gonna be raw and real. But when you're raw and real, and I'm gonna tell you, it's scary as hell. Because hello, I've done it, and there's still times I get scared as hell of being raw and real. But when you are raw and real, something happens. You become, I don't know, you just
empowered.
Yes, empowered. Yes. You become elated. You just feel like this weight of the world is off your shoulders. You're no longer being who everybody's saying you need to be, or how everybody is saying you need to act, or how everybody's saying you need to talk, or what accent, or whatever. You're being you. And that's very empowering. Being you is very empowering.
Well, the thing is, what you're doing, one of the things that human beings seek from the beginning is freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And with freedom comes liberation. They go hand in hand. And when you start honoring your true self, the core of who you are, irrespective of what some people, some family members, some community members, some leaders, some friends may want you to do, when you start to honor your truth and who you actually are, you are liberating yourself. You are setting yourself free. And so that's why you suddenly become so goddamn empowered. And when you get to that point, like, you start to become completely unstoppable, right? And you become unfuckwithable, because it doesn't seem to matter what other people say. Like, it might knock you slightly to the side, but you bounce right back to center, right? Whereas before you start honoring your truth, when you're actually showing up pretending to be someone that you're not for the sake of pleasing other people, if somebody says something to you, it knocks you for a six, and you keep rolling for a month of Sundays, right? And you go down, and it's like,
it takes a little while to get back up. Yeah.
But when someone knocks you a little bit, and when someone might say something that's actually against the integrity of who you are, against your truth, and you get a little bit of ego mind comes in and starts to say to you that, you know, perhaps they're right, perhaps you are less than, perhaps you aren't as confident as you think that you are, perhaps you are more scared, perhaps these fears are real, perhaps these insecurities are true. Like, it'll knock you this way for a few moments, or maybe a day if you let it, but you get to choose how long you get knocked. Mm-hmm. And then you can bounce back and come right back to center, because you honor your truth. Mm-hmm. And like, everything just becomes so much easier, and things happen so much faster. Leads come faster, new clients come faster, soulmate clients find you a whole lot easier. Sales get easier. They happen in more frequently. Money comes to you. Happiness in your personal relationships with your children, with your lover, that happens faster. And you start to push away those who aren't aligned with who you really are, and you start to attract to you those who are your people. And so it's like a really natural form of polarizing the marketplace, right? I had a lady ask me a few years ago, how do you polarize your market? I said, well, for me, I show up as who I am, and I swear, and I just be bold, and I be unapologetic, and I be unfiltered. Well, some people hate on me for that.
But those aren't your people. Those aren't your people.
No, that's right. I don't care, because they're not my people. So I don't give a shit what those people say or think or believe. The only people that I concern myself with are my people, who accept me unconditionally as who I am, who understand that I swear because I'm passionate, or because that's who I am, or all of the reasons why I swear, which, you know, I'm not even going to try and list or explain or justify. I do it because I do.
No, it's just you.
Because it's who I am, right? And, you know, if people don't like the fact that I'm so bolshy and I can be so strong and I can be so unapologetic and strong-willed and relentless, well, that's because of insecurities within them that they either are never going to address, or they don't know are there, or they're not ready to address as yet. So it becomes about them, and it's not about me at all.
Right,
so or I don't worry about
or it can be their different personalities. Because I mean, like I said, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, because I can come across my sassiness. I'm just gonna say it can come across as being very bitchy, but it's who I am. I'm very sassy. I'm very Southern. I tell it how it is. But I come from a heart of compassion, and I'm very passionate with my clients and what I'm wanting them to learn when it comes to the money and being able to do those things. And I'm okay with not being everyone's cup of tea. It's okay. I don't have to be everyone's cup of tea. If they don't like, they're not my people.
No, that's right. And if people think you're bitchy, Lisa, that's actually got nothing to do with you. That's actually all about them. It's about their perceptions, about their belief systems that create those perceptions. And it's about the truth that's within them that they're not actually ready to own. And so if they think you're bitchy, what it is that they're seeing something in you reflecting back at them, which is reflecting their truth that they don't want to own yet.
Right. Right.
So it is always about the other person. It's not, I mean, unless you're outwardly being an ass, it's not about you.
Me?
Right?
Never.
I know, right? That's just not happening. I'm sure there's times, because we all have that darkness within, right? But
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm an angel. I'm a saint in disguise. Yeah, right. But the thing is,
I'm a sweetheart. I don't know what you're talking about.
Me too, right? But the thing is, you're showing a polarity that they don't want to own. And, you know, so if somebody says to you, oh, you're a bitch, or if someone says to a friend of theirs, I don't like Lisa because she's a gossip, guess who's the gossip, right?
Right, right.
The person saying the stuff because they're telling someone, so they're gossiping.
Right, exactly,
right?
exactly. Well,
so
I mean, and it's okay
so it's often just a reflection, and it's okay if people aren't your people. There's plenty of your people out there.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
And that's you to be able to attract them.
And that's the reason why I want the people that are watching this, whether you're watching now or the replay, is to understand that there is so many blasted people out there across the world, okay? I mean, across the world, that who cares if you have some people who aren't your people? Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that when I first started my business, I cared. I took it personally because I was just starting. Now, I'm going to tell you, honest to goodness, I don't want anyone who's not my person. They're not my people, whether it's coaches, whether it's mentors, whether it's people I network with, whether it's my clients. If they're not my people, I don't want them around me. And it's nothing against them. They're just not my people. We don't connect. Our personalities don't mesh. And just because they're not your people now doesn't mean they won't be your people later. You know? Right. I mean, I've been following Laura for I think, like I said, going on 3 years, and we started talking. I think I stalked her for 6 months before we even started talking. And I've done the same thing. I did the same thing with my coach. And I did the same thing, I think, with Jane. No, Jane and I just hooked up and we started talking. But the point is that it's okay if those, and sometimes your people are going to be people like me and Francis, Laura. We follow each other, but we're not each other's clients right now. But that doesn't mean that one day I may not hire her. We're still each other's people, because we connect and we have similar personalities and we get each other, and well, we're both badasses. I know.
And this is the thing, right? While ever you're accepting people into your world that aren't your people, you're giving permission for drama to continue to unfold. You're complicating your life where it doesn't need to be. Where it doesn't need to be complicated. You're attracting people who aren't your people. You're allowing people that aren't actually your people. That means you're positioning yourself as the person who is their people, which means you're not actually showing up as
and it holds you back. It, honest to goodness, it holds. When I started showing more of my own truth, more of the clients that I actually wanted started coming in, and literally on their own, the clients that weren't really my ideal clients and the ones that didn't want to be around, one way or the other, they started leaving.
They fall away.
Right? And it just, and as I don't hold anything against them, but I felt like, I felt freedom. I felt empowered that I no longer had those clients that were holding me back. And that's not saying they weren't good people. We just weren't a match. And that's okay.
That's right.
The thing I have now, we're an awesome team. We work together. They're my people, and I like that. I like having that.
That's right. And the thing is, the reason you felt so free when those people who weren't your people fell away is that you had an energetic shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so your energy was attracting those that are your people, but not repelling those that aren't your people. And the reason that those people who were working with you started to be repelled is because your energy shifted and theirs didn't shift.
See, that makes sense.
Your energy shifted to be more in line with who you are,
right?
And their energy didn't shift at all. They stayed true to who they are, for whether that's who they are right now or who they are going to be for the rest of their lives. There was an energetic shift. And so the universe then, it conspires its little bits of magic in the background and it ups your energy, it raises your vibration, it aligns it with your truth, and starts to attract those that are actually your clients, and those that aren't have an energetic shift away from you.
See, that makes sense. And that's what I want everyone who's watching this. And I just went to a business intensive in California, and that was one of the things we talked about was, your people and who, making sure that you're surrounded by your people and understanding that not everybody is going to be your people. There's plenty of us out there. Not everybody.
And that's okay, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I like it. And say you guys shift your energy and be you. You got to be you, no matter who that is, and be unapologetic about it. I used to apologize profusely. I still catch myself sometimes, but I don't do it nearly as much as I used to. I'm unapologetic. I am very Southern. I'm very sassy, and I'm not going to apologize about it because it's who I am. I don't know who else to be. And I've started coming out and being more of me. And it's a really good feeling. Right? It is. It's totally awesome. So I want everyone, if anything you get out of this, is I want you to understand that if you're not being you, and if it feels like you're not, take a step back, peel that onion out, and start being you. And you're going to watch your energy shift. I promise you it works. I am living proof it works, and Laura is also proof it works. And you're not alone. You're not the only person that's been there who's done that. and like, oh, am I the only one feeling it? No, I promise you, one way or the other, all of us have been there at some point in time, right? I mean,
because absolutely. I mean, you go through. People say that you've got friends for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Right.
And people come into your life for a reason, for a season, and for a lifetime. And some people who were like, I had some really awesome friends when I was a kid. Well, I don't even have words to say to those people now. It's not because I don't like them, but we are not an energetic match. Like in any way, shape or form, they are not my people. They were my people then for the person I was then. And, they've grown into being the person that they are today. But I could go and be put in a room with them and locked in for 24 hours, and I swear I wouldn't be able to strike up conversation because I have nothing in common with them. Like, we're worlds apart. Like, they just aren't my
You both have grown and shifted, right.
But into our own truths, right? And you've got to remember that the truth that you're living right now is your truth for now, but there's other truth beneath it.
Right. That's why there's always growth.
That's right. So you've got to get to that core truth. And every time you uncover a bit of core truth, there's deeper core to go to.
Right. And so you've got to be willing to go to it and be your true self and continue to find your true self in order for that to work. And the more your business grows, the more you grow, the more you're going to want to find your truth so that you can be your true self. And don't be afraid of the change. That's the other thing, because the more you grow, your truth could change, like you were saying, because and you evolve and your energy shifts, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
So the thing is, the more in alignment with your truth and who you really are at a core level you are, the sooner you start to attract the things into your life that you desire. So, that nice Aston Martin, that nice matte black Aston Martin with the black wheels that I want, it's coming to me, right? The soulmate clients, the people that I love to work with, they're basically like my best friends. We have a currency exchange for a value exchange. That's the transformational value exchange. They're my soulmate clients. I love being with those people. More and more of them come to me every single week, every month, whatever, right? The people that I enjoy spending my time with, the environments, the situations, the type of things that I really enjoy, all of the things that I desire all come to me. And the only way you're ever going to be able to grow your multiple six-figure or six figures and beyond business is to know who you are at a core level and start, like you said, faking it till you make it. So start showing up under that faux confidence until that confidence becomes your reality, right? So you've got to start showing up as the person that you desire to be, as though that person already exists, even though you may stumble and fumble your way to becoming that person.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because
I often get people say to me, Laura, like, how come you're so confident? How did you get to be that way? Well, firstly, I made a decision, and by making a decision is actually taking forward action. It actually is action. I decided that I'm going to show up as this particular person because this is the person that I want to be, and this is what I want my life to look like. So I started with baby steps becoming that person. It's not like I woke up one morning and then I was suddenly confident. It's like I made a decision, and a decision in itself is motion, and motion is action. And every little tiny step I took towards being that confident person that I desired to be, the closer I got to becoming that.
Right. And you have to keep showing up. I have a person who's one of my people. She's a coach, and her saying and her thing is be her now. So it's basically saying along the same lines as she's saying, be that person that you want to be now. So she's actually having a retreat that's called Be Her Now. And so you're being that person now, and you're showing up. And so the more you show up as who you're wanting to be, the more that confidence starts building. And the faster you can manifest the things that you want into your life, right? And one of those things that you want is to be that confident person. So if you want to manifest everything, you've got to first make a decision. Secondly, you've got to take action.
Thirdly, you've got to maintain focus on your vision. And, you know, you've just got to keep showing up as though you are already the person that you desire to be. And sooner rather than later, that will become your truth.
Right, right. And when we say show up, y'all, we mean whether it doesn't have to be one way or the other. It can be lives, it can be your posts, it can be your blog. It can
but
be.
But it's just as you, right? It's you showing up. It's
whichever way
the person
showing up. Right.
Yeah, it's you being that person every day. And then you start when you're being that person, you're actually doing that person as well by showing up on your lives and in videos and in podcasts and in your posts
person,
and
wherever,
kind of thing, right? In person,
right? In person, wherever, or on a magazine, or which, by the way, she has an awesome magazine now. It's called Badassery, right?
Badassery Unleashed magazine.
And by the way, I have an article on this one. Woohoo! I will be posting the link soon. I'm so tickled about it too. But yeah, so I mean, it's showing up, and she's gonna have a podcast. So if you see what she's doing, she's showing up, and her magazine, you can tell she's showing up as her because again, it's badassery. It's her. It's how she is.
It's reflective, right?
Right, and I like it. I like that.
And the thing is, I almost didn't, and I put a post in and sent to my email list. I almost didn't start my magazine because Jane, who you know, Jane's one of my business besties, and she launched her magazine earlier this year. So I had all this negative self-talk come in and say, you can't because she has, and you'll be copying. And I almost didn't. I had a conversation with her, and she just goes, launch your magazine. It's like, well, I know that's what I need to do, right? I know that's what I need to do. It's been a dream of mine for years.
Right.
And I almost didn't because I let that negative self-doubt ego voice rule for a little while. And I thought, well, I can't now because she has, and I don't want to be seen as copying. But by launching it, I didn't know how to do a magazine. I had no readership, but I've started, right?
Right.
And you just show up as the person. If you want a magazine, you can't sit there and just continue to say, one day I'm going to have a magazine and then be disappointed because that magazine didn't happen. You got to show the fuck up and put the magazine out there and go out asking people to be contributors because nobody even knows it exists, right? Which is everything that I've done and am doing, right? And you just got to show up, right? As if the thing that you desire is already real for you. Right. And then it becomes real.
Yeah, and that doesn't matter. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's podcasts, if it's interviews, if it's videos, whatever. Whatever it is you're wanting, you have to show up and show up as yourself and your truth, and then go ahead and go after that. See, I love that. I absolutely love that. So I want you to tell them about the opt-in, the freebie that you're going to put on the thing after the live, so that they have an option to get that.
Okay, so the 6-figure up level is a 4-part video series, and I take you through the mindset and the behaviors that you need to, or the things you need to do. So your vision, your message, and your purpose, like discovering those and owning those. And that means that you need to tap into your truth, right? That's video 1. Video 2 is tapping into your genius, which means identifying what it is that you're really awesome at out of all of the things, because we can all do so many things, and some of us try to do all the things, and it doesn't work. But it's a matter of tapping into the things that are part of your purpose, and then using those to create offers and products and to sell to attract in your soulmate clients and build your empire. Video 3 is packaging your genius. So we go into program structures and how to do that and the difference between the program structures. And video 4 is the 3-step 6-figure sales funnel game plan, which gives you a roadmap, but also explains the methodology and the principle and purpose and practices behind having a sales funnel. It's a 4-part video series. I absolutely love it. I've had over 150 people sign up in the last week for it, very organically. And, I've actually got myself some clients out of that. And this is another thing. I was not confident about putting it out, but I put it out anyway because I knew it was something that I wanted to do and that I was supposed to do. So I've done it and it's worked. right? So, you know, and so this is just a reminder that you need to go out there and do the things that scare the fuck out of you.
Yes,
but
you
that
do.
you really want to do, right? Because
yes, you do. You will be surprised at what level it will take you and your business.
Yeah, getting what you want is equal parts fear and excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you've got to actually embrace the fear and follow the excitement.
You got to step out of your comfort zone. You do have
to step out of your comfort zone. So the 6-figure up level is a 4-part video series on scaling your business to 6 figures and beyond, and it gives gives you everything you need to be able to get the wheels in motion, get the ball rolling, get clear on your vision, your purpose, and your message. Tap into your genius, package it, and then sell that using an automated sales funnel system.
Awesome. So she's going to post that link for y'all. I think it sounds like it's something that all of us need personally, even me. So I think that I want y'all to take her up on that and definitely do that. And just remember that in, in order to sass up your truth, you've got to know your truth. And the only way you're going to do that is to show up and to just peel back the and just be you. It's there, I promise. Thank you very much for coming. Yay!
Pleasure.
I'm so excited. We finally got it. We got time zones right.
Yeah.
Y'all, for those of you that don't know, it's actually May 8th for her because she's 14. We determined it, right? It was 14 hours, right? She's 14 hours ahead of me. So it's right now it's 9/11 here, so it's like 11/11 her time. So
that's correct.
It's the next day. She's already into Tuesday, and we are fixing to end Wednesday, or it's fixing to end.
Yeah, that's right.
See, I'm trying to get ahead again. So
your Monday,
my days are all messed up.
Okay, 11/11.
Well, I just came back from Pacific time, and that was 3 hours behind. My time's all all messed up. And that was just 3 hours. I can only imagine like going to Australia and then 14-hour difference and then coming back. I don't know about that. So thank you very much for coming on, and thank y'all for watching this or watching the live. When you see the live, the replay will be up for 48 hours, and then of course you can catch it on the email list. And make sure you check out the YouTube, because that's where a lot of the previous ones are going now. So make sure that you catch all of those. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will talk to you all later. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.